22 minutes past 6. Welcome back to Sabah al-Muslim. Joining us now on the line from Islamabad, we have Harun Rashid, the ex-editor of BBC Pakistan, and he's also the managing editor of The Independent in the Urdu language. We talk about the latest from Afghanistan. Harun, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Radio Islam International.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you for having me.
In recent days, the focus has been on the Panjshir region. What's your assessment? Did Ahmad Massoud think he could really stop the Taliban? Are the Taliban true in their claims that they've taken control? Or is Massoud true in his claim that they're still resisting?
I think, you could take it as a young man's wish to reenact his father's legacy. If you remember, his father, late Ahmad Shah Massoud, who is also remembered as the Lion of Panjshir Valley, resisted Taliban and the Russians in the 90s. And he was very successful because of several reasons. But circumstances at the moment were not in favor of a resistance because only Panjshir district was or province was left. All the surrounding districts and provinces were taken over by the Taliban, so there was no route for supplies that this young man could get from other places. Badakhshan province and others were taken by the Taliban earlier. Strategically he was surrounded and encircled, so he didn't have much of a chance of getting any supplies or anything from his allies like his father. Another big negative against him, I think, was that, it was pretty soon. All the international community, Americans, other countries, India, are still weighing their options as far as Taliban's new administration is to take shape. If their negotiations or their initial contacts are successful and the Taliban agree to whatever their demands are, I doubt that they would be supporting Ahmad Shah Massoud's son or something like that. So I think, time and location and circumstances were not in his favor.
Do we know where he is right now? Has he been caught? Has he secretly signed a deal with the Taliban? What's his situation personally?
Well, it's not known yet. We have received an audio message from him after the Taliban's claim that they have taken over Panjshir. We are not clear about it. Yesterday, the Taliban spokesman Zabiullah Mujahid in a press conference in Kabul said that, he has a very weak sort of an information. He wouldn't confirm it, that he has gone to Tajikistan. So we still don't know, and I doubt that he'll be hiding in Panjshir Valley at the moment because it's taken over by the Taliban. They are, strengthening their grip on the district and asking people not to come out and take all the precautionary measures. So I think, my hunch would be that he would not be in Afghanistan. He would be somewhere outside.
How's all of this playing out in the Pakistani media and in Pakistani discourse? Not only with regards to Panjshir, but, the last couple of weeks since the Taliban came to power. How is this being received in Pakistani society?
Well, there is division. It depends who you are talking to. The religious circles in Pakistan, the military circles in Pakistan, the ex-military generals in Pakistan are all very happy that the Taliban have taken a very strong control of Afghanistan. I was talking to one of my friends who is from such circles, and he was saying, Pakistan's western border is now, secured. So Pakistan would not have much trouble now from Afghanistan as it used to be. So this is the thinking on the religious and the military side. But if you talk to the liberals, the nationalists, the Pashtun nationalists in Pakistan, they are very sad because they think that this might again fuel another wave of militancy in Pakistan, because Pakistan has suffered a lot. If you remember, over the last 15, 20 years, because of the spillover of Taliban movement in Afghanistan. Pakistan had its own organization called the TTP, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. And we are witnessing a bit of, re-energizing of this group because they are becoming a bit more active. Yesterday, they sent out a message to the media in Pakistan that they should not be called terrorists, and it would be wrong if they do that. It depends who you are talking to in Pakistan.
Coming back to Afghanistan, what's the latest in terms of the next step by the Taliban? There's been some talk in recent days about the formation of a 25-member cabinet, about Mullah Baradar becoming the head of that government. Many have said that the Taliban themselves were surprised in terms of how quickly they were able to take control of the country and of Kabul, and that has put them a little bit on the back foot in terms of the way forward. Has there been any indication in recent days in terms of their next steps?
No, that is very surprising. It's almost 3 weeks now that they've taken control of Kabul and the rest of Afghanistan. And still no signs of, or even no date of when they plan to announce the new government. Earlier they had this easy sort of a date of 31st August, and then they used to say that once all the foreign troops are out of Afghanistan, that they would announce the new administration. Now, even, 6 days have passed by that as well. Yesterday, a journalist asked Zabiullah Mujahid, when we are getting the new government, and he again didn't give any date. He only said that it will be soon. And that they are working and they're trying to get, consult every segment of society and within the Taliban there is consultation going on. He denied, any internal differences over the formation of the new administration, but I think, there are serious problems within, and we have seen it in the past as well. If you remember, when Mullah Muhammad Umar, the previous head of Taliban Tehreek, his news after his, confirmed after his 2 years after his death, that there was a power struggle within the organization. His son was leading one faction, Mullah Yaqub, and there was other sections who were supporting other people. And ultimately they had to give Mullah Yaqub the deputy head of the organization. And there was his uncle dissociated and created another faction of the Taliban and ultimately got killed himself. I think that there are some serious internal differences as to who should get what. We see Taliban as one big, huge, uniform sort of an organization, but it is not. There are several groups within Haqqanis, the Mullah Yaqub's group. There are other Mullah Zakir's group. So each one might be claiming that they have given so many sacrifices and now it's time to share the bounty and get a big share in the government or something like that. So I think that is keeping the Taliban. I hope that they iron out these differences soon, because if they can't do that, the problems of the people on the street are aggravating with each day. Banks are not operating fully. The passport and identity card offices are still struggling to get back to their normal. So people have, and the business is not that good. So, Taliban need to take control and start, recreating or bringing some normalcy to Afghans' lives.
Harun, shukran so much for your time. It was really fascinating speaking to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.